Last time on the Minus 20 podcast, in the tavern, room in the pillar, the heroes identify 5 suspects who could be Fingers McNab: a human woman merchant, a gender-fluid aristocrat, a fidgety catfolk teen, a silver-headed elf, and a goblin performing tricks for the crowd. Soon, the heroes realize they're all working together. The thieves flee. Will Fingers McNab finally be caught?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Minus 20 podcast. I'm Jay, I'm your GM. We were playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, our homebrew campaign, Vigilante. I am here with 5 other carbon-based life forms. Why don't we go around and I'll call out your individual signifier, and you respond with some sound waves so that people can associate the two. Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Seraphina.
James.
James playing Bull Poncho.
Nate.
I'm Nate. I identify as a silicon-based life form. Beep, beep, pop, boop.
Wait, we just blew by James. I'm going to... No, I know we have to go, John. I want to go back to James.
Oh.
This is me rewinding. James, I want to talk about catchphrases, right? Ride the grapevine. I think it's your new one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good one.
And the ride the grapevine to the conga line.
That was it. That's the whole one. I think ride the grapevine fits better on a t-shirt, though.
I guess it depends on how you arch the font.
That's true.
T-shirts, TBD.
TBD.
In the Minus 20 store.
John.
Hi, I'm John. I am indeed a carbon-based life form.
Excellent. And we've Diana as our last.
I'm Diana. I play Kira.
Right. In the spirit of moderation, since last time I blew up the decibels laughing too much, I'm going to start with another edition of Things I Got Wrong. And
Everything.
This will be an ongoing series for us.
It will be. All right. First thing I got wrong. During the Akata battle, I allowed Shepard to do a sudden charge with a leap as one of the 2 movement actions instead of 2 strides. This, of course, is not allowed by the rules, which says you stride twice, then attack. Now, you can add a leap or other movement during the middle of a movement. You can break up a movement that way using splitting and combining movement rule in Pathfinder. However, I would have added an extra action. You know, the rule of cool won that day, but, from the future, I'll probably crack down on it since I'm now no longer cool.
But that's what heroes do. They make the impossible possible.
Oh.
Shepard, hero.
Aw.
The book, The Perfect Storm, was written by Sebastian Junger, not Christian.
Oops.
We should just start over.
Yeah, I'm getting this weird feeling of deja vu.
Disadvantage for misattributing an author.
Yeah. All right, we had a facial hair conversation centered on the mustachioed father of our only Diana. And I said following Kim on her move back in the day was foolish. I meant, of course, from an objective standpoint, quitting your job, moving out of your apartment, relocating 3 states away for someone you've been dating only a few weeks is probably considered by most people foolish. However, in hindsight, that was the best decision I ever made.
The wife disclaimer.
That's right.
This correction written verbatim by Kim.
Can confirm she's not holding him at knife point right now.
That's true. Kim, however, has not heard the episode yet in which I slandered her by saying it was foolish to go move in with her. But I just wanted to clarify that. That is a mistake.
That's why we skipped from episode 6 to episode 8.
That's right.
No reason, honey.
What happened to 7?
Finally, we used the message cantrip last session to send a message to someone through magical means and whisper a few words into their ear. You don't have to see them. You just have to be within range. However, to respond to the message, you must be able to see the sender, according to the rules. Last session, Penn replied to a message from, I believe it was Marth. Yeah?
Yes.
And probably didn't see him. However, her response was so freaking funny. There is no way in florping hell I'm going to jump in with a rule in that scenario. So in this case, the rule of cool overrules. However, if it comes up again and it's meaningful, I will enforce this rule. Cool. All right. Enough of the fun and giggles part of the episode. Let's move on. I'm curious what your characters like to do for fun. I want to get to know them a little bit better. And I think when we play these games, we focus too much on, the murdery side of them and their quests, to save the world and stuff like that. But I want to know if they do cross stitch or things like that. Let's start with Kira. What does Kira do for fun?
So, you probably already got the impression that Kira likes writing. She wrote the poem for Liam, and so writing is something she commonly does to express her feelings and kind of learn to cope through difficult situations. So you'd find a lot of short stories, poems, that kind of stuff in her journals. But Kira also likes to draw. So when we talked about her room, we referenced that there were pictures on her wall, and of course they're not posters or photographs the way we understand them, but they're hand drawings. And while some of them would have been from friends or family, a lot of them are from her. So, although she might have a new hobby of vigilante.
What about Shepard? Lawn darts?
Yeah, Shepard people watches for fun and volunteers when time allows, which it sounds like there won't be as much volunteer time now that the soup kitchen is no longer.
Maybe.
If we don't pay you, then it's still
TBD.
volunteer, right?
I was gonna say, does your like medical shop count as part of the volunteer, or is that what you consider your job? Because I would think the homeless guy has nothing but time to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his 9 to 5 volunteer work, his free clinic, so to speak. But he likes to watch people. And
no skinny dipping in the town fountain or anything like that?
Again, he's a penniless vagrant, so fun costs money in a lot of circumstances. So,
we'll have to bant about that.
He plays with little homemade rag dolls, in his box at night.
Yeah. You can skip stones in the river.
Yeah.
We can come up a list for fun things for Shep to do for another page.
He's like that was it the her meme where the guy is just standing around waiting for something to happen
At the park.
Yeah, at the park, the pool,
by himself.
just waiting around for the clinic to open or the soup kitchen to open again.
And you could play speed chess in the park, that kind of thing. Come on. Yeah.
You could. I didn't think about that.
What does Bo Poncho do for fun?
Bo being multiple 100 years old, so very super senior, I feel like would pester all the customers that came into Pancho Vineyard's bottle shop and would just regale them with any story that, as long as they are standing there, they would listen to the point people would second guess coming into the shop, be like, yeah, his wine's good, he knows what he's talking about, but I don't want to hear him that long.
That's just for the bottle, man.
Well, gee, thanks for the bottle, Bo. We gotta go catch that Oh, okay, you're gonna keep talking.
Bo, I don't want this to be vinegar. I want to drink it as wine, buddy. Let's wrap it up. But I think maybe he'll have to start playing speed chess with Shepard instead.
Oh, yeah. Or shuffleboard out in the park.
Jax.
Oh, bocce, right? Wouldn't Bo be out with the bocce gang?
Ooh, potentially.
Boccia ball. I have been corrected by fellow Minnesotans.
Bocce?
call
What?
Is that a legit thing?
Boccia ball.
Oh.
I thought it was bocce too.
It is bocce in Italian. It's bocce.
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 Is that a pronunciation that comes from you've only read it, you've never actually heard it kind of thing?
I learned this from a family of friends.
Okay. Future banter
Who are
topic.
very into
How to
boccia
pronounce
ball,
various
and they will
We are
Lawn
not
bowling
even going to
games.
get into the way Minnesotans pronounce bagel.
How do they say bagel?
Bagel.
Bagel.
Bagel?
Like a bag.
Bag.
I don't know if I've heard a fellow Minnesotan call it a boggle.
You also all
I know,
replace your double O's with U's.
Yeah.
So there's lots of root beer and
Root
up on the
beer.
roof, and it's like
Oh,
nails on a chalkboard. But
Root beer.
whatever.
Hey, we're not talking about this now, okay?
Yeah. I do want to see maybe Bo going to a ballroom dancing class. James well, I don't know about that.
I don't know
I
where
want to
that's
see him
coming
going
from.
to the Denny's
Fine.
early bird dinner.
That's right. I'm just thinking of fun activities for seniors.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, what about Marth?
Oh, hey, Marth. So Marth spends a lot of his time, trying to give back to the orphanage, and I think in his mind he sees himself as like, kind of the cool guidance counselor, like, I don't know, like, yeah, the one that they're all like, yeah, Mr. Kata, or something like that. But I think in reality, a lot of them probably see him as like that guy that graduated but keeps coming back, and you're just like, okay, sure, dude. Why? We were just gonna, play basketball, but yeah, you can totally teach us, even though you have no coordination. Whatever.
That's funny. Does he take him on like field trips and stuff?
I mean, I'd like to think that he does.
Yeah.
I don't know, like when you are taking orphans out of the orphanage to the 7th ward, it's not exactly like, let's go see the museum or something like.
I will say by canon, you did take them to a tavern the last episode.
I mean, like
Right?
I said, he thinks he's a good role
It's a
model.
different time,
but-
okay, Jay?
Yeah. Just putting that out there. All right. What about our friend Serafina with all the free time that she has?
Yes,
Single mom and full-time job.
All her free time when she's not midwifing or trying to homeschool her 5-year-old or working in the apothecary shop, she would probably never admit this, but her favorite pastime is probably getting away from people and going out into the woods and foraging for the herbs that her mother makes into the remedies. Both because it's useful, but also because she doesn't need anything. The plants don't need anything from her. They don't want anything from her. Nobody's talking to her. Nobody's pulling her in one direction or another. So she gets that kind of stillness and peace of mind that she doesn't get very often.
That totally makes sense to me.
Dang, that sounds kind of good right now.
I know, right?
I don't know. I'm going to guess that the single mom running 2 independent small businesses, like her favorite pastime is probably just sleeping.
Yeah.
It's like me. Like if I have the opportunity to take a nap, I don't do it because if I do, I'm out for 3 hours and then I can't sleep that night.
Yeah. Yep. Been there. I usually try to set my alarm for 10-minute nap. Power nap.
A little disco nap.
Diana's shaking her no.
Yeah, no, my wife can do that. If I do that, I will be 8 million times worse.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
We got some hobbies here. Speaking of hobbies, let's move on to our Pathfinder 2 game.
What's that?
Last time we left off our game, you guys were in the room in the pillar, which is the 7th Ward's biggest and most popular tavern, owned by the irascible Gus Broadfoot, who I believe put a bounty on your heads already.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, the pickpocket gang, Fingers McNab, get it, the 5 fingers? Did you guys get that?
Oh.
Yeah. Fingers McNab was terrorizing this place, making a nuisance of itself, stealing from the local people of the city and causing a ruckus. You guys investigated, sussed out who they were, and at that moment, all hell broke loose as one of the gang members threw the poker ante into the air everywhere and, I don't know, maybe shouted fire or something, but it's a big melee scrum right now. And the 5 of them, who are, hang on a sec, we probably worth going over reminding people what these people look like. So you have a goblin performer who was playing fiddle and circling around the room. You have a human woman dressed as a merchant who is chatting up everybody at the bar. And of course, the catfolk fidgety teen who was slinking around the room drinking the dregs of beer, and a gender fluid man playing cards called the aristocrat, wearing fancy clothes, and finally a gaunt silver-haired elf we lovingly dubbed the Watcher because she was sitting at a table by herself scanning the room. All 5 of them were apparently working together in this pickpocket ring and they are fleeing the tavern. What would you guys like to do?
So I'd imagine there's a lot of stress happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, I don't know how many people are frightened, but I don't want it to turn into like there's a fire, everybody's trying to get out at the same time, and people get trampled to death.
Right.
So I'd like to use my class feat, no cause for alarm, which I'll put it in the chat here.
Sure. Let me interrupt you real quick. What are you doing? What's the purpose of
Oh, sorry. Well, I think we should chase after them, but I don't want to get bogged down by trying to run out at the same time as everybody else running out. So I'd like to calm them down so that we have a clear shot to chase them.
Okay. Everyone's on board with the chasing. You guys want to capture these dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yes,
All right,
please.
Run them down.
Okay. In that case, before we do this roll, I'm going to segue. We're going to run into Paizo's chase mechanics, which I don't know. It's kind of like a series of skill checks where you have to hurdle over obstacles. And then, each obstacle you come to has a certain number of, Paizo calls them chase points you have to get in order to overcome it. And to get those chase points, you have to roll particular skill checks. So when we get to an obstacle, you guys tell me what you'd like to do, and then we'll find a skill that fits in with that, and then we can roll that skill. So the very first one is, thanks, Simon. There's this crowd here you have to get through, and you want to calm them to. So the first obstacle is the crowd.
Because we were kind of causing a scene before. We were screaming like after them, like those are Fingers McNab. So, okay. So
Yeah, roll me a diplomacy check.
I'm going to natural 20. So plus 5, 25.
25. That is a critical success. You earn 2 chase points for that. Your calming of the crowd is so good that they start to mill and almost part for you.
You should be a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
Her fudge voice is so soothing.
I just need one more chase point to get past through the crowd.
Finish your beer. We got this.
I figure that I know the bartender well enough. Gus, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be a
Gus Broadfoot.
Gus. I delivered
What?
20 bottles to you yesterday, right?
Yeah, it's a funny time to bring this up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just go with me, man. I'll deliver 25 of them free for you tomorrow, okay? And I stand up on the bar, wind my way up, and I'll be like, "Hey, that goblin that was playing music and that guy that flipped the table, they're part of the Fingers McNab gang.
Fingers McNab.
We just chased them out of here. Sabbath Ward strong. Sabbath Ward strong. And I get everybody to chant as much as I can, and then I finish up with "Wide's on the great man." And
Literally.
Roll that. Roll it, baby. What do you want to roll?
it'd be like diplomacy, like I'm cheering
Okay,
up the
yeah,
crowd.
sure.
So I imagine this is
Just
tantamount
calmed
to
him down.
I'm focusing them into a certain area, like get them to the bar so that we can get around a little bit.
I got you.
Reduce
I
the
got
panic.
Yeah.
You calm him
I
down
set
and he
them
hypes
up
him up.
for you, yes.
Set him up and knock him
Teamwork
down.
is the dream work.
And I like to imagine this is like tantamount to like being in a Texan style bar. As someone who goes to Texas quite often, I mean no disrespect to any of our Texas listeners, as chanting USA in there. So I don't know how high the roll needs to be, but it'll be 22.
That is a success. The 7th Ward, people chanting 7th Ward, rush up to the bar for their wine, clearing the path for you guys to exit the bar right on the heels of the 5 members of Fingers McNab. Now, I'm going to add an obstacle to this chase because of your new Vigilante dedication feat that allows you to swap identities. I'm gonna go ahead and give you an obstacle if you want it to put on a mask, put on a disguise as you're running out of this bar into the public. So are you guys into that? You want to? I mean, it'd probably be good for your health.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Kira's not going. She doesn't have her mask completely sorted out, and plus, people know she does sneaky stuff. So this is kind of marketing for her.
I mean, you are the only one here with vigilante identityception.
Exactly.
Like it's a secret identity within a secret identity.
Yeah.
That's right. Who else wants to disguise themselves?
Serafina will definitely want to disguise herself. So she has the mask that she got from Yoel Jacobson, and she's going to try to slip that on, and she's also going to flip her cloak inside out because
nice.
it has a black lining, and so the blue side is now in, and she's wearing a black cloak.
What does the mask look like again? Remind us.
It's a black background with a white skull on it.
Nice.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like to roll for this?
Can I roll crafting?
Absolutely. I was going to suggest it, so.
Okay. Oh, that would be a natural
that's a
one.
critical.
I'm going to use my hero point.
Oh, did I forget to give out hero points?
Yeah, you were
Yes.
going to give an extra one. You always give an extra one, Jay.
So, yes. And I was going to give it to Serafina as well. So, this is, we erase all your hero points after 4 episodes and start again. So, this is another, right? So, everyone has 1 hero point. And I did want to give Serafina, Holly, an extra hero point because last session, it was a lot of fun watching you and Diana look over your computers at each other like, oh, yeah, that would do it. So take that hero point. So you have 2, and now you can use 1 if you want.
Okay.
Well done, Holly.
Thank you.
I don't know. Seems a little sus. She gets one
Oh,
after one.
I got a 2.
Oh, no.
Right,
It was
either.
meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Serafina pulls on this mask. It's backwards, and she runs into a
The
fence.
tag is in the front.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Rocco
It's
puts his
inside
mask
out.
on.
It's inside out.
Speaking of Boondock Saints, what?
Anyone else going to mask up?
Yeah, Marth will.
All right.
So I think what Marth's gonna do is he's gonna try and use some stealth so that he's not just like in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
changing with everybody like, oh, hey, it's that guy. Like,
What kind of mask are you putting on? What's your disguise?
so Marth is gonna be more simple, I think, where he's got like the full face shell that's just pure white, maybe some goggles on there, and then the black cloak hood over the top of it. He's a fetchling. He likes black and white.
No, that's good. All right, go ahead and roll me that stealth check.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get this done.
Maybe the clown vigilantes.
That's right.
So that is a 14 for 19
That
total.
is a success. You successfully sneak this on, no problem. That is 1 success.
The shepherd gets about a dozen steps ahead of everyone else and realizes everyone else stopped to change. He turns around and sees people putting on masks and has an aha moment, realizing that, oh yeah, we can't just do this as our normal selves. Pats his pockets, realizes he doesn't have anything on him to hide his identity other than pulling on over a mask that he uses when he's treating people at the clinic.
What would you like to use for that?
I mean, I have a mask in my inventory. I mean, he can try to cobble together something else. Maybe like he's really good at ripping up his cloak and hemming it back together. So maybe he rips that up, a big strip of that, and uses that as like a different style of mask or something that doesn't as easily identify him.
But he's doing like the scarecrow burlap sack, but
Oh,
with
yeah.
a medical mask on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No one will ever know that was the homeless guy.
So what skill would you like to roll to successfully?
I guess that's a real loose crafting check, maybe.
Yeah, crafting check would be fine. I would take deception. I would take stealth. I would take maybe even athletics because you're putting this on while you're running.
I could do athletics, but I'm definitely not trained in deception or anything else. But
Medicine, because you're putting on your surgical mask.
Yeah, sure.
Try that. So yeah, I cobble together something while I'm running. 16 on the die for a total of 22.
That is a success. You managed to throw this on. I'm going to need 1 more success here.
Yeah, I'll make a gesture so like people know that Great Man Bo is leaving, kind of like, I'll see if I can go get some more kind of thing. And I'll, as nimbly as small as I am, I want to kind of just dodge in between people, or maybe even run atop since I'm already on top of the bar. Maybe they'll carry me a little bit. Who knows? free drinks. So, and yeah, I'm gonna the minute I can get out to a clearing and it's dark enough, I'll just do my change. So,
All right. What do you want to roll for that?
I'll just do acrobatics as I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
let's
through
do
this
it.
pile of people that I've riled up with free booze.
Ooh.
Oh,
But I'm feeling very heroic in this moment.
He got a 2, everyone.
2 on the die.
2 for a 9, which is not
Oh!
I told you I was feeling very heroic. 27, nat 20.
nat 20. That's a critical success. Mord makes up the deficit. You are fine. You guys are successfully changed on the run. Your identities are safe. As soon as you get the stuff on, though, you see a portly town guardsman hold up his hand. He's got, like, it's not a spear guy. It's got a little club on it. He's, whoa there. Where are you folks off to in such a hurry?
Okay, so Marth is, like, as he's going by, gonna kind of a diplomacy of the, like, hey, that's like the Fingers McNab group. They just, like, caused this big ruckus down there. But, don't worry, we'll chase them down. You don't have to worry about that. You just relax right here. You don't want to go running, right? Bye! Like, doesn't break gate, just keeps on going through.
What do you want to roll for
I would
that?
love to roll a diplomacy.
Do it.
19 for 26.
That is a critical success.
Dang.
Well done.
In fact, that is all you need for this obstacle.
As soon as he says the words, like, running, the guard's like, whatever, I'm out.
Quite willing to be convinced not to run.
Doesn't even stand up.
Yeah, which critical success gives you 2 chase points, and that was the number you
He's like,
required.
well, my job was just to ask.
They don't pay me enough to stop people.
That's right. All right, carry on then.
Marks it in his journal.
I like to think that's just canon now. Anytime a guard stops us for anything, they're like, this town needs vigilantes. Like, clearly we're not doing our jobs.
They just have to document it for tax purposes.
Sign the logbook. That's all you got to do. Sign the logbook.
Hey, Stan, doing your job for you again. Bye.
Oh, all right. You're doing it to me again. I'm going to blow up the decibels of this recording. Anyway, so ahead of you see the 5 hop a fence, pretty rickety, tall fence, leading to alleyways in the tenements.
Okay, I'm gonna use streetwise. I have a streetwise skill, so I'm gonna like kind of deduce they're jumping over there. Where does that lead to? Where can we maybe cut them off? So that's gonna be a society check.
Can Shepard aid?
Already rolled. Sorry.
That was a critical success, but you can re-roll that with an 8.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you clearly suss out. You know this neighborhood much better than they do.
Quick, this way's a shortcut.
That's 2
I
chase
had
points.
I had a 19 on the die for 26. Sorry, I was
Oh,
so
yeah.
excited about it.
I-
I didn't announce it.
I just called it a critical success. Yeah, critical success 26 is a crit. 2 chase points. You need 1 more.
I'll not intentionally try to hit them, but I'll try to like hit the fence or hit nearby just to kind of startle them a little bit and slow them down.
All right.
I'll just fire off a quick shot. Oh, almost a crit, but still 23.
That hits. It was actually a hard DC. That still makes it. So you have gotten the 3 points. The shot ricochets off the fence just as the aristocrat, the last of the 5, is slipping over the fence, and he I forget what their voices are from the last
And
episode.
that sounds like an aristocrat.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it was something like this. Oh, watch it there, cretin. I think it was that was the voice. Yeah, watch it, cretin. And then he takes a little bit time to get over the fence. That was a success. Following Kira, you guys circumvent the fence, and just as they like you intersect with them, like on this back alley, just as they go by. So you're right on their heels. However, out of a side door comes a large, mangy-looking guard dog on a rusty chain, blocking the alley.
Oh, I think that's Pickles.
As the resident vagrant who wanders the alley, he probably knows most of the dogs. Shepard will take out some tasteless hardtack that he's got and
This will
attempt
be
to
super appealing. To
attempt
the dog.
to distract Pickle Chips, the dog.
Pickle chips.
And I would like to use survival for that.
Butch.
Anyone who's seen dog food probably does look pretty
Yeah.
tasteless, so I feel like that's a good thing.
19 total.
19 total. Yeah, I don't know if the dog likes the taste, but maybe it's like a rawhide strip or something, and he just starts, he grabs it, starts chewing on it. But that is one success. You still need one more. He's still blocking the way. Now has something to guard.
I'll kind of draw his attention, and get in near, and then start climbing up the wall. That way, he kind of barks up the wall at me and leaves my friends alone.
All right. That is an athletics check.
Shepard, was that your breakfast that you gave the dog?
That was 1/7 of the food Shepard has.
19 as I scamper up the wall, and being a vine leshy, all successes are critical successes, so I'm quickly up.
Yeah, that works. The guard dog is spooked by this weird plant creature scaling the wall
He
next
does
to it.
not want to ride the vine.
Well, my options were that or throw grapes for him to eat, and grapes are not great
Yeah,
for
are they
dogs,
toxic?
so I'm
Yeah.
definitely not doing that.
I love how you guys are thinking of the health of this animal. As
Yeah.
you're-
We're heroes. Of course, we're
Yes,
thinking of
yeah.
the health
We're all
of
dog
animals.
people.
You kick one dog in this campaign where we become the villains. We're no
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
Fingers McNab.
Yep.
Yeah. The dog runs back whence it came with its new treat, and you guys are free to go. However, you run to the end of the alley behind the Fingers who've vanished around the corner, but you're not sure which way they went. And you come to a T in the alley. You have two choices.
Oh, I'm an investigator. Let me look at this. So I actually would like to use.
You are right on that, Diana. Man, you
I
are so
remember
sharp.
my class and use it quickly
That's right.
all times.
We haven't talked about this
No.
off app or anything.
So I'd actually like to devise a stratagem.
Okay.
And again, try to deduce all right, well, if they went left, that would have taken here, right would have gone there. And I get to use my pursue a lead because I'm following them, so I get a +1 to the skill check.
Okay.
So I'd like to use my.
I mean, normally it would take a minute for Pursue Lead to look around, right? But we'll just hand wave that.
Could we
because
argue
it's cool.
that we've been chasing him, so I've been following this lead for a minute?
I think
You know
yeah,
what
Or it's
they're
just
wearing, like the wear of their boots.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for giving me that. So I'm going to.
I just wanted to get out in front of the things I did wrong for next week.
He tries to follow the rules, but we negotiate him out of them.
That's right.
So a society.
I'm trying.
check.
I'm trying. People, please go easy.
So I got an 18 on the die for 25, and then if I got a +1 from.
That's a critical
Device.
success.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. You
You go
with
that
your
way. I'll go this-
investigatorial nature and eyes, you quickly deduce the way they went. However, I will require one more chase point to get past that.
How tall are the buildings that I'm climbing up?
So you're in the tenement section with these narrow alleyways. It's 2 or 3 stories up. So you could definitely climb up. You're looking to get a vantage point.
Yeah, I definitely kind of want to be the not getting sued by DC Batman, using finger quotes, kind of
Yeah.
jumping across from rooftop to rooftop and kind of calling them out as I see them to the group.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you want to make a check for that?
I'll do perception to just kind of keep on watching them.
Yeah.
Give kids nightmares. They're gonna see this big, monster going from rooftop to rooftop, stretching its legs.
Oh,
Yeah, I do-
we're gonna
kind of-
give kids nightmares in
Yeah.
this campaign.
I do
Trust
envision
me.
that it's almost that Venom kind of thing because he's very dark and green, not full black, but definitely dark enough where in dim light it would be like, what is that monster across the rooftop?
Yeah. It's
Nighttime,
like
we're getting tucked into
moonlit.
bed.
Ooh.
I'm focusing too much on jumping and not enough on looking.
I look so cool doing this.
Tell the
Thinking
people what
about
you
the
rolled.
children I'm trying
Yeah.
to scare.
Yeah. That was a natural one.
Yep.
That is a fail.
So since we got 2 directions to go, and I can literally be 2 people,
Yeah.
I will bring Arya out, and then I will have us each take one of the directions to see what's going on, see if we can figure out which way they went or confirm the suspicions of our investigator.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what I would use for that.
Let's do perception. Let's say that
I
you
can do
two are
that.
like running in different directions and like listening or something like that would work, right? Does that sound good?
That works for me.
All right, let's
That's
do it.
not the one. That's initiative. I want to roll perception.
13 on the die is not
Ooh.
enough.
13,
13 not on the die. Excuse me.
Well, 10 on the die plus
13
3. You know
total.
what? We'll use that 1 hero point.
All right.
Oh,
Hopefully you won't need it
Hopefully
the
I
next
won't
3
make
episodes.
it a 1 this time, but we'll see.
you rolled as Arya. Does that matter?
I don't think it does, but let's do Marth. He's got a whole different character sheet with the exact same perception.
Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. Still a fail then.
Oh, I really failed
Oh,
this
my
time.
gosh.
I rolled a 2 for a 5. So Arya was doing okay with it. Martha's just like, oh my god, I can't keep running like this. There's Jesus. I don't know, that way ish.
Can Shepard look around and see if he can find any signs of which way they may have gone?
So that would be a survival. That's a classic survival check. Classic.
Checks the ground, checks the refuse around here to see if anything's scattered and out of the way, but also
no,
is not
we
doing
can't
too
find
hot.
it.
9 total.
It's not enough.
I think the only person left is Serafina. Right?
It's all up
To
to,
the rescue.
Serafina.
So Serafina, maybe she's been here, helping out on a delivery or something. So, does she?
Got my fingers crossed. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no
please
kidding.
make this roll my content.
Can I
That's on it.
can I aid her by the instructions that I was yelling out? When
Yeah,
I was trying to devise a
please.
stratagem.
Yeah.
Like trying to direct her to an area.
Yep.
So would mine be a society again?
Sure.
Because that was what I used before. So a 10 on the
17
die
is a
for
success.
something.
So go ahead and add a +1 to this roll.
Okay, so if she's trying to remember, that wouldn't really help her if she's been there before because she doesn't know which way they would have gone. But is there someone around she can ask to see if they saw some people run by?
Ooh,
Sure.
good.
Yeah. No, that's
idea.
good. Maybe there's someone leaning out a window or something.
Okay,
Looking
so
at the creepy thing crawling on the ceiling.
That's right.
yeah, right. They're not looking at the green monster. They're looking at these 5 people. All right. So I'll roll diplomacy for that.
Yep. You have 1 hero point, right?
I do.
It'll be completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put it in the universe, man.
Yay! 18 plus the one that Penn gave me for a 26.
That is a success. You see a woman on the 2nd floor in the building above you pulling in the clothes off the clothesline. You
Hey,
call up.
did you see 5 people run? Which way did they go?
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Up that way. And she'll point the way that they went.
Thank you, and don't mind the big green guy on the roof. Bye.
What?
What?
Don't look up.
Yeah, screams.
No need to look up. No need to look up.
That is a success. You successfully pick out which way they went. And sure enough, probably with your, the streetwise person you've got a back alley doctor, you've got a kid who grew up in the mean streets of Hammer City. You probably figure out where they're going and take another shortcut and come within sight of them. However, just as they enter a notorious maze of tiny little alleys in the tenements. So I'm going to need 2 successes to figure out their path through this maze, this Byzantine labyrinth of tiny city alleys.
All right. Well, Marth, as a former street urchin and card-carrying member of the Orphan Society.
Yeah.
Like, if there's one thing that he would know, it would be the maze of alleyways to get away from people. So I'm thinking society check.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes, that's perfect.
Alright.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be a 20 for 25.
Critical success. That is 2 chase points for a crit, and that's all you need. So that is a success. You absolutely know this place much better than the 5. They're kind of fumbling their way through the dark. And I should mention, night has fallen. When you came out of the tavern, it was dark, but here in the streets, it is pitch dark. You know your way around. They don't. You catch up to them.
Oh,
Finally.
son, you chose wrong.
You catch up to them at an intersection of 2 of these alleys, and they stand, the 5 of them, arrayed in a kind of V shape underneath 4 street lamps. Oh, did I? I got rid of the street lamps. Well, on my map, I had 4 lovely lit street lamps that are now gone. So we'll say the street lamps aren't there. As you guys pull up to them, they are in this collection of streets, and there are crates in the alley. There are you can see the little roofs here. Map, those are like little archways for tiny, I don't know, tiny back alley squares or whatever. They're kind of like belong to the owners of the buildings that they're on. And you can see the 5 fingers arrayed against you, and the goblin shouts at you. All right, sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong, huh? Well,
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Yeah, that's offensive.
that's a nice snoot you've got there. I bet people can't help themselves booping it.
Don't
I'll tell you what,
dare
I
boot my nose, you
We'll
goon.
boop your nose, and you won't enjoy it.
That's a hate crime.
That's
Sorry, guys. They have to die.
as threats go. That's not that threatening, actually.
Well, you try having your nose booped.
You don't know what it's like.
I'm gonna boop it, and you're
You'll never
not gonna
know.
enjoy it.
We're
Terrifying.
gonna take turns booping it. So yeah, I guess that means battle. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
I just want to say we're adults and this is what we do for fun. Sit around talking about booping snoots and laughing.
Right.
Yeah, can I change my answer about what Serafina does for fun?
She boops.
Boop snoots.
Boop sneak.
Pickle chips.
Righty.
We have so many blue dice, I don't know which one was mine.
I was gonna say, people have the exact same one that I do. This man has the little blue edges.
All right, let's go around the room and see what people got for their initiatives. Holly, what'd you get?
13.
Okay. How about John?
I have 14. Take that.
James, what did Bo?
26.
Nice. Wow. Okay.
Rooftops
got a
are unencumbered,
26.
so I'm easy to get across.
How's Shepherd looking here?
Shep got an 11.
Okay. And
Pen got a 16.
nice. Okay. Well, that puts. I just deleted the encounter, so can we roll that again and go through?
Oopsies.
Sorry about that.
Is there a way to insert numbers?
There is, so we can keep those. Do you guys remember what you got?
16.
Did I roll?
13.
I'll roll up, but I'll delete it.
16. What did Marth get?
14.
I don't remember what the fingers got, so I'll have to re-roll those. Unnamed Gunslinger, you got.
It's still in here
26.
for us.
It's in the chat.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. The merchant got an 18.
All right. Hang on a sec. What did Shepherd get? I'm gonna go
11.
What did the performer get?
Former got 22.
And Serafina.
13.
1 for the fidgety teen.
1 for the fidgety teen. Whoa. And
Not
the,
very catfolk like of
the
them.
aristocrat?
15.
The fidgety teen was the one who ran away.
Merchant?
Merchant was
The coward.
4.
18.
Oh, sorry. The Watcher's 4. Sorry. Yay.
All right, that means the unnamed gunslinger will start this encounter.
All right. Yeah, he will run and jump off this roof.
Okay.
Obviously, in this situation. And he's going to aim for the Aristocat.
Where's he coming down? So I've got him on the map. You said he was on the roof
Oh, yeah,
at
sorry.
the beginning of this encounter, right?
Yeah, he was running across the top of the roof. So, yeah, he's going to use that momentum and just full on leap and try to land on the Aristocrat.
Okay, so he's jumping 20 feet down, and so I'll allow a leap, but you're going to take some damage on that jump.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I will be, I'll say this, trying to direct some of that damage into the Aristocat.
Yeah. Let's do an athletics check. We'll do it
Okay.
against its reflex DC.
Side note, I love that you keep calling it the Aristocat.
I can't not say that.
Yeah. People with 4-year-old daughters
Yep.
cannot say anything else. 12 is a miss.
Okay.
You take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And I'll put you right next to him. However, you're down to 7. Ouch.
Caught his attention.
Yeah, I'm going to say make a reflex save to see if you land prone or not. Reflex save. I think I said reflex DC, didn't I? I meant save. Save.
Left-hand side.
Oh, there we are. Thank you.
Ooh.
17 is enough. You are upright. That is one action.
Next action, I'll just, even though that hurt, but I will literally just throw all my vines around the Aristocrat.
All right. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. Let's do this at maps. I'm going to call your first action an attack.
Okay. Oh. That moot point.
Yeah.
I'm dangling vines around with the natural one.
All right. You have one action left.
I am going to just pull the gun and put it to the Aristocrat's head. And I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to say, we are not trying to harm you. We just have our vendetta against the Axes. We don't have to do this.
So with your third action, you draw your weapon and use your free action to say this.
Yep.
Okay. This will not be any kind of check since, right, technically you don't have the actions to do like a convincing or a diplomacy check or anything like that.
Well, wouldn't I already have the gun out? Those...
Oh, you mean as part of... Well, you need hands-free to climb.
No, I do not.
You do not? Okay.
I do not.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I'll let you do that. Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check.
Yeah.
See if you can... or an intimidation check, maybe. Might be better. That
13.
is not enough.
Even if it doesn't succeed, it shows what we are truly going for here. So
Yeah. All right, the performer will cast a spell. This is going to be a 5-foot burst. And I think I will center it on Arya, Penn, and Serafina. I need the three of you to make me a will save.
Ooh, 19 on the die for a 24.
Ooh, that is a success.
Uh, 11 on the die for 17.
That is a success.
Woo.
17 on the die for a 22.
Woo!
That is a success. So this goblin casts sleep on the three of you. And if you had failed it, you would be unconscious for a while.
It's
However-
not our bedtime yet, so
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
not your
fall
bedtime.
for it.
Mhm.
So all three of you merely suffer a -1 check to perception checks. So yeah, you'll have a harder time seeing.
It's like when you're yawning really hard and your eyes water. That's kind of...
Yeah. All right. With his third action, he's going to go ahead and cast Courageous Anthem. And this will be for all of his allies who will get a +1 bonus to attack rolls. And I think saving throws, against fear effects specifically. So, all right, and that is the performer's turn. The merchant, seeing that the aristocrat's in trouble, this large, nasty-looking, green, large creature who's been chasing them for the last several minutes, has got a gun pointed on her friend's head. She's going to run over 5, 10, 15, 20, come up. You know what? Go ahead and flank him. Come around to his other side with her first action. So the unnamed gunslinger is now between the merchant and the aristocrat, which means that he is off guard to the merchant in these attacks. She's going to use Flurry of Blows. That's a feat that allows her to attack twice using one action. So here comes the first strike. This is with fist. This is a non-lethal attack. An 11 on the die for a 19. Okay. Gunslinger will take 5 points of damage. And then here comes her second attack on the gunslinger. It's a 7 on the die for an 11. Okay. And then with her third action, she's going to go into a crane stance. So like the Karate Kid, right?
Whoa.
She'll get up on one leg, put her arms up, and this gives her a bonus to her AC. Pen, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to devise a stratagem for a skill. Okay, so I rolled a 10. Can I use a hero point on devise a stratagem?
I would say, I think you can use a hero point in any roll that you make.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't use them on your enemy's rolls.
So I will use my hero point and re-roll that. I don't know how to re-roll a devise a stratagem. Let me try to apply it again. Okay, I think I got it. Give it a try. It's the same number.
That's
Okay.
a 10.
I said 10.
Well, that's okay. Then I was going to use it for a skill stratagem, so that just means I don't get the +1 bonus, correct?
That means you can't, I assume you have to use it?
My attack stratagem says you must use the result.
Right.
For the skill stratagem, it just says I gain a +1 circumstance. It doesn't
Okay.
say I have to use the
Right.
roll.
Yeah, okay.
So that was my first action. I'm going to use Nudging Whisper, which is a free action,
Okay.
to make a request. And I'm going to look at the fidgety teen and just be like, you don't have to do this. Like this, you're going to carry this guilt for the rest of your life. And I'm going to make a request and ask them to just leave. Just go run. Go. Don't be a part of this. So I'm going to make a diplomacy check and try to request that they leave. And natural 1.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just makes a sneery noise.
I get it. That's what I say all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my third action, I'm going to
You're not my mom.
cast Aid on Shepherd.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it by, the way I'm yelling at the fidgety teen, I'm being extra loud to try to draw attention to me.
Okay.
So that hopefully Shepherd is hiding a little more beneath those crates and they aren't paying attention to him.
So when you aid, you're aiding on someone's action that they'll do on their turn. Okay. So what action are you aiding?
So I am aiding an attack action.
Okay.
So I'm trying to use a performance to try to draw their attention so that he has extra focus to attack.
Okay.
Does that work?
which, but you have to tell me who he would attack, like which person you're drawing the attention with.
I hope he's going to attack. I have to pick one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick the aristocrat.
Okay.
'Cause I don't want him to hit the fidgety teen.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay.
Actually, no, don't do it now. Sorry.
Yep.
Whoops.
I'll wait.
We don't want to metagame. This will happen when Shepherd makes.
If he attacks.
If he attacks
Okay.
the aristocrat, we'll use your reaction to make that roll.
Okay.
Okay.
That's my third action.
Cool. It is the aristocrat's turn. He turns to the unnamed gunslinger and will attempt to. It's got a dagger in his hand, and the gunslinger notices that there's this odd-colored liquid on the blade of the dagger. However, the aristocrat looks at the gunslinger and sees that this creature is reeling with pain, so he just tries to butt the gunslinger over the head with the hilt of this dagger. That is a 4 in the die for a 14. Okay. So the gunslinger moves out of the way, a deft action, and he will attempt a second attack on the gunslinger. That is 11 on the die for a 17. Okay. So actually, I'm sorry, I did not add, this is a non-lethal attack. This is a -2 penalty to this roll. That was a 15 on the. Okay. And then what's he going to do next? I guess he's going to try a dirty trick on you. He throws something in your face. Maybe, I don't know, pocket lint, whatever he's got, like
Pocket
maybe
sand.
a handful of copper
pocket
coins.
sand.
Pocket sand. He's got a handful of copper coins he throws at you. So this is a thievery check
What an
against
insult.
your reflex DC.
Just throws money at us.
Yeah, just throws money, coppers, no
Just take
problem.
it.
I'm an aristocrat. I've got coppers. So he'll do the thievery check. Your reflex DC, right? Just as a reminder, when I ask for that, it's your reflex save plus 10.
So 19.
19. It's a 5 on the die for a 13. So you are not this. You duck as these coins go probably right in the face of the merchant. But
This feels like that scene in the movie where like the guy tries to like sucker punch the really big guy, and then he just takes it and turns back to him like nothing happened.
exactly.
I like to think I'd like open up the jaw and just eat some of the coins just to intimidate a little bit.
Marth, you're up.
Okay. So Marth is going to move 5, 10, 15 to get over here. Okay, I apparently hit a wall, so we'll move 20 to get over into this area. Then I will cast a spell. Where there's that key. So we're going to do Grim Tendrils.
Ooh, the line.
Yes. So tendrils of darkness curl out from his fingertips and race through the air, and they do 2d4 void damage and possibly some bleed damage to everything in the line.
All right. So yeah, you can get those 3. No problem. I said no problem, but I can't get the line to work. But yeah, they're in the line.
For you.
for me,
Jump into
it
line.
doesn't work, but for Mark.
Everybody on top.
All right,
So
so it's
that
a
is a
40.
DC 17 Fortitude
All
save.
right, we'll start with the aristocrat. They roll 13 for an 18. That's a success.
What a jerk.
The watcher rolls a 3 for an 8, which fails.
Right.
And then
Still a jerk.
the bard rolls a 7 for a 7.
All right.
So 2 fail. They take full damage.
All right. So those two take a whole 2 damage,
All right.
but they also get 1 bleed. And then the aristocrat takes 1, because, why not? And since I'm using a act together, but there was a lot of stuff, I will have Arya move over here into a flanking position, but can't do anything with her.
The performer critically failed, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, was it a critical fail?
It was.
Ooh, so that's double damage. And
Double that, too.
And double persistent.
And double that persistent bleed
two
damage.
bleed damage.
You really are watching people, Shepard.
Yeah.
It's my job.
It's my hobby.
it's my favorite thing to do.
I feel
I'm not
someone's
a creeper,
watching
guys.
me.
always
Uh-huh.
watching me.
Thank you
See,
for
there
that
it is.
correction. So the Watcher, let me get this straight, is taking 1 point of bleed damage, right?
Yep.
And the
Performer
Performer's
is taking
taking
2.
2 points of bleed damage.
And also the 4 damage from the void.
I believe they took that damage already. All right. Yeah. So that is all
That's
of your
it?
actions. Cool. Nice move. Serafina, you're up.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is cast light, which I will put in the chat for everyone's edification. But
All right. 120 feet. You can put it on yourself?
yes,
For our audio listeners, light is a spell that casts light.
I know it's crazy.
Wow.
We've been
Wow.
fighting so long. It's
Where do they
morning.
come
yeah.
up with these names?
And then, is this an obstacle right in front of me?
It is an obstacle.
And can I avoid it by going diagonally?
You can. Yes,
Okay.
both of those things.
So I'm going to run up to 25 feet, up to the unnamed gunslinger, and I am going to cast battle medicine.
Okay. You're essentially treating wounds as a one action in the middle of combat.
Oh, that is a 6 on the die for a 10.
Needed a 15. So that is a fail. You're not able to heal the unnamed gunslinger.
Well, that was my turn.
They are immune to battle medicine for the next 24 hours, too, unfortunately. Through that.
I mean, bull ponchos really live long enough.
Yes.
Oh.
It's just this vessel. We'll go to the next one.
Shepherd is up.
Shepard will use sudden charge for a total of 50 feet of movement.
Okay.
Dang.
Are you going to go around this obstacle? I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll...
Because it would have been a fun chance to do the things I got wrong and do it right this time.
Yep, so he'll run around and run all the way to the back line where he saw the spellcaster casting spells and attempt to bonk him.
Not boop him?
No. Do goblins have boopable noses?
I mean,
Do
everybody.
goblins have noses?
Does
Does this
This one
goblin
does.
have a nose, I
This-
guess is
Yeah,
the
look at his little
question.
picture.
yeah, the goblin. Here, let me see if I can.
It's just not one you want to boop.
He's got a
Yeah.
he's got a nose. Maybe you boop it.
Probably make a squeak noise if you do.
Boop it with a sword through the brain. I
And,
mean, what?
Oh. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
And I've only seen so far non-lethal attacks. They tried to put us to sleep. They tried to hit someone hit Bo with the blunt end of a dagger, which I think Shepard would be familiar enough to realize is an actual disadvantage given that weapon. So he will try to cudgel this goblin with a sap as part of his sudden charge.
All right.
And
So we'll say it takes an action. I assume you wouldn't have had that drawn since you probably wouldn't have known this would be a non-lethal encounter until this moment.
yeah, he probably would have had his hands on his sword, seeing that the aristocrat already had a dagger in their hand.
Yeah.
But seeing that this is kind of the direction that it's going, he's going to attempt to strike it with the sap.
Okay.
The 13 on the die for a total of 21.
Well, that is a hit. Go and roll damage. And sap does non-lethal damage, so there's no penalty on this strike.
Correct. 5 on the die for a total of 8 booping damage.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. And that's your full turn. 2 actions to do the sudden charge, 1 action to draw the sap.
Yep.
All right. It is the Watcher's turn. Watcher will just slide over here behind Shepard, putting Shepard in a flank between the Performer and the Watcher. What that means is Shepard is off guard to the Watcher, and the Watcher is going to go ahead and make, again, using the butt end of a dagger. You know what? Actually, no, take it back. They're going to do a dirty trick first. So this is a thievery check against your reflex. So in this case, the Watcher bends down and tries to tie her shoelaces together real quick.
To be up 15 is my save.
That's a 12. Not successful. You managed to move your feet just in time. Here comes the dagger attempt. This is -2 to this strike. So I should probably put this in my...
And just to be clear, did I see him draw a dagger?
Oh, yeah. Good point. It would be drawing a dagger, so that would be move, draw. Yeah, so that's it. I guess no attack. Good call. Look at you watching out for yourself.
Wow.
It's important because I have reactive strike, so if they do a manipulate action, I can take a swing. So.
Yeah, then that was it was an interact action drawing that dagger.
Gotcha.
So you can do a reactive strike.
I will forego this, seeing that I have a spellcaster in front of me. In case they start wiggling their hands around, I would definitely take a swing at them instead.
All right. Okay, it's the fidgety teen's turn. The fidgety team is going to come up behind Arya, draw their dagger, and then boop, make this attack with the butt end. That's a bummer. That's the first, I think, successful strike. Anyways, 22.
Might hit.
All right. That is 9 points of damage. They, of course, also do sneak attack damage. So I'm going to add another D6 to this. So this is a total of 12 points of damage. And Marth will take this. Yeah. Marth is unconscious. Not dying, however.
Marth has something to say about that.
So I don't think that he was reset from the last battle.
Yep. Good point.
But while it didn't feel good to take 12,
Isn't that Arya also? You
They
take
share.
damage?
Sure,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, okay.
All right. 12 points of damage. I'm sorry. You are not knocked unconscious. You're down to, what, 7, right? Okay, cool. That is, let's see, 3 actions. Gunslinger. We go to the second round. However, I think we should stop there. As you guys are in a pretty sticky situation surrounded by these 5 fingers. Can you defeat them? I guess we'll find out next time on the Minus 20 podcast.